Hello everybody, Xander here, and today we are back with another video. It's been a while since we've done a tier list type of thing, but I thought it'd be nice to do that again. And maybe a little better, because admittedly, last couple of tier lists were a little lackluster, but we're also back with a Batman-related tier list. As you can see from the screen, this is a pre-made Batman villain tier list. Now, as cool as it'd be to do a actual tier list, like ranking all of the Batman villains, the problem kind of is that I haven't read every Batman comic out there, so I haven't, read some of the comics about some of these villains. Only heard about them a little bit, so I can't fairly rank them outside of design and concept. So what I thought I'd do with this tier list is I'd more so rank these villains not off of the characters themselves, but how likely I think they might appear in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, in either the Batman Part 2 or Batman Part 3, or anything else in this universe, possibly. So that's not going to count James Gunn's DCU, because there is a higher chance of certain villains showing up, because that's going to be a more comic booky sort of universe, and this is a little more grounded compared to that. So without further ado, let's kind of go and see. Okay, so it seems like now there is a section for characters that I guess, people don't have much of an opinion on. So I could do an actual character tier list, but might as well just do what I said I was gonna do. And then, and I can give a little opinion on these characters, more interesting that way. So let's start off with number one, or the first person who shows up on this list, and that's Bane. And we've got an interesting selection of images, but this is Bane from the Telltale game, but I'm guessing it's just Bane. And I'm going to be ranking his likelihood of being in the Matt Reeves universe, so it's not just Part 2. So I'm going to put Bane in, let's put him in B tier. There's a good chance he might show up in the Batman universe, because Matt Reeves is going for a pretty good level of realism, and I feel like Bane still fits that pretty well, because he is just a guy who is taking an experimental drug that makes him really muscular and powerful. Next on the list is, okay, like I said, these images are interesting. Some interesting choices, because I think the next person is Black Mask, except he's apparently, I think, got the can't tell if that's the Black Lantern Rain or the White Lantern Rain. Either way, he's got something, but I'm assuming that's Black Mask. I'm going to put Black Mask in A. He is definitely someone I would imagine could be in this universe, because he is basically just a mobster with a skull mask on. So there's a good chance he could show up in this universe alongside, like, the Penguin. Alright, next up, I'm pretty sure is Clayface. A lot of people have wanted Clayface in this universe, guessing he might be in the Batman Part 2. And There's a part of me that wants him in here, so I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him in B. There's a good chance because, again, I don't know how realistic Matt Reeves really wants this universe to be, but I feel like a decent amount. So I feel like Clayface can still work in this universe. So I'm gonna put him in B. Next up is Calendar Man. Obviously, this would be an interesting one. He definitely wouldn't show up as like his regular self, though I feel like most Batman fans know already that most recent versions of Batman have portrayed Calendar Man as more of a serial killer type, like in the Arkham games and even Lawn Halloween. So if you go off of that, I feel like there's a good chance Calendar Man could at least make a cameo. Maybe in like the Arkham show, if they actually make an Arkham show, he would probably be good for that. So I'm gonna put him in B. Okay, we got Catman next to Catwoman. Catman is gonna be a no. E tier. There's no way Catman's gonna show up. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. Unless it's like a throwaway joke or even a line of dialogue that references him, but I doubt it. Catwoman, like I say, this is kind of where my logic falls off with making this into a tier list for villains I think will show up in the Batman Part 2, because Catwoman's already in the Batman, so I don't know where to put her except in no reviews. This little bottom thing. So I guess that's what I gotta do. Mad Hatter is next. I think I'm trying to think Mad Hatter, like again, another one that could very much work with this realistic world, because he is just a guy who is really nuts, who's got like mind control technology, which is crazy, but it's technology, so it's kind of that thing. I'm gonna put him in 50-50 because I'm not quite sure, but he could work very well. Okay, and next is Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight. I probably should have renamed these before we start filming, but I didn't. So I'm gonna leave F alone because I don't want some people to mistake that for me meaning, oh, I hate this character just because it says I hate you. I'm just gonna put Arkham Knight in no because he's, such a unique character to Arkham Knight. Though I guess he's not too unique, especially with his, identity. So there you go. We got Clue Master, I think. I'm gonna put him in what's called blah, or it's D tier. I don't put him directly into no because maybe he could show up, but I doubt it. I don't know much about Clue Master other than his daughter is, one of the later versions of Batgirl and Robin. So there's that. If you wanted to use him to set up Stephanie Brown Batgirl, but I doubt it. Next up is Deadshot. Deadshot is, but I guess I'll put him in A because he's very much a character you could put in this universe. I mean, he's a contract killer, uses guns, very easy. Same with Deathstroke, who I'm going to put in B because also a very easy character to put in this universe, but I don't know if they'll do that. As much as I'd like Deathstroke to show up in some live action DC property, especially with Joe Manganiello playing him because he didn't get to do that really. So I'll put him in B tier. Two-Face, next up. Two-Face is also an easy one. I very much think he will show up at some point. Hopefully they, build him up instead of just, one and done for a movie like The Dark Knight did. Scarecrow up next. Scarecrow is another very likely character to be put in the Matt Reeves universe, and a lot of people are, even saying that like one character from the Penguin show could secretly be Scarecrow, which I don't fully agree with, but I can see where people are coming from. I can very much see that. Shit. Okay, so next up is Carmine Falcone, who again already showed up in the Batman, and he's also dead in this universe, so even more of a fan of. There's no way I can rank him, just like Catwoman. Hey, like father, like daughter. I'm pretty sure Firefly is who is next. I'm gonna put Firefly in. I'm gonna put him in B, I guess. Another very likely one. He would either be like a cameo in one of the movies, like one of the bad guys Batman takes out in a quick scene, or someone who makes an appearance in a spin-off like a Arkham series, possibly. Though I don't know if that makes it fair, any more fair with my ranking of Mad Hatter. So I'm going to put Firefly in 50-50. Mr. Freeze next. Another one who a lot of fans want to be in the next movie and who seemed like a very good candidate for the next Batman movie, but we're not too sure because supposedly the next film is going to be set during winter, but it's still not confirmed if Freeze is going to be in it. So, I'll put him as excellent. Again, another one that's not like too impossible to put in this universe. Science is a very key factor. Oh wait, Clayface is right there. So who is that? Is that another Clayface? Are we dealing with different versions? I don't think so, but now I'm not clear, so let's put him there. And let's put Clayface where I thought that Clayface was. Interesting. Alright, okay. Next up is Harley Quinn. I'm gonna put her in 50-50 because this Batman universe already has the Joker, but I don't know if he's really gonna have a similar arc of finding his Harley like every other Joker. So I'm not sure unless they do what the Cape Crusader show on Amazon did, where they made Harley an independent villain. Like Joker hasn't even shown up yet and Harley's already a bad guy. So I'll put her in 50-50. Hugo Strange, Dr. Hugo Strange, I'm definitely putting in an excellent A tier because he is a very likely type of villain for this universe. Even like an even more perfect character for an Arkham show because he can easily be like kind of the almost antagonist of that series if you want to give the show an antagonist. So that'd be awesome. So he could probably also be a good villain for a third film. Who knows? Alright. Hush. This is one that a lot of people are saying could be the next film's villain, but I'm putting him in 50-50 because he could very easily be in the next movie, but I don't really want him to be. Because honestly, Hush is not my favorite character. He was interesting for the most part back when I first, heard about him, and I also saw him in Arkham City. But now I'm kind of like, yeah, he's alright. So 50-50. Next is, I'm pretty sure that is James Gordon Jr., the serial killer son of Commissioner Gordon. He is a very interesting character. I have not read a comic about him, but I have watched a video discussing him. Like, I've heard of him before, but I did watch a video from someone on YouTube who, delved a little deeper into his character, and he is quite the interesting guy. Like, honestly, he would make a pretty good character in this, though. He's like not too far off from Riddler outside of, James Jr. is much more psychotic, like really psychotic, with no real empathy, while Riddler in the Batman universe is very much very emotional. So, mostly just the serial killer stuff where I'm like, it's kind of similar. But Joe Chill, we got Joe Chill, who's the guy who killed Batman's parents, usually. I'm going to put him in no, because probably wouldn't make too much sense to have him show up, at least in like the big movies. I'm not sure. And they were also going so much back and forth in the first movie with who really killed Batman's parents, because they were like going back and forth suggesting if Falcone family killed them, or the Maronis killed his parents. So I don't know. Next is Joker, who I'm putting in the no comment category because he's already in this universe too. So there you go. Okay, Killer Croc is next, who I definitely want to be in this universe. Like, he's a little outlandish, you could say, for something so realistic, but he's a dude with a skin condition who slowly becomes more monstrous. So I'm going to put him in good, because I definitely want him to show up in the Batman universe. Next is, don't know what that is. Is that Killer Moth? Be kind of weird if that was the case, because Man Bat seems to be right there. So I don't know who that is. So we're going to put that in no. No comment. Then we got Lady Arkham from the Telltale series. Also going to put in no next to Arkham Knight, because like before, Arkham Knight, Lady Arkham is a very unique character to the universe they're in. So I don't think it would really work in this case unless you did something a little twisted or creative with that sort of idea. Though because I don't know if that works, because the Arkham family in the Batman universe seems to be more connected with Bruce Wayne's family than anything, so I'm not too sure about that. We got Lady Shiva over here. I'm gonna put her in D, because she could show up in this universe, but the more interesting thing about her character, or at least her involvement in the Batman continuity, is that she helped train Batman. But it seems like Robert Pattinson's Batman is much more of a brawler who was taught by Alfred, and not the martial artist we usually know. So I'm putting her in D. Then we got Man Bat. Still don't know what that thing is that I thought was Man Bat. Put it 50-50, because like Killer Croc, Man Bat could be considered too monstrous and too comic booky to work in this realistic universe, but he could work, and I would like him to work because I don't think we've ever seen Man-Bat in live action. Next is, don't know who that is. I think that could be Maxie Zeus, who I'll put a no because that probably doesn't work. Next is, okay, I actually do not know who that is. So that's either Talia or some other character. Man, I don't quite know. I'm gonna put her in no, just because I'm not too confident in this person's identity, so I can't quite say for sure. Penguin, already in this universe, very differently, but still in the Matt Reeves universe. Poison Ivy, who we're gonna put in, I'll put in good because she could still work in this universe and be cool to see her. Next is Prometheus, who is basically the reverse Batman before so many other anti-Batman were written. I'm gonna put Prometheus in D because I'm not saying it's a straw no that he would show up. More of, I don't think they would do that because you've already got so many characters that are kind of parallels to Batman in this universe. You don't really need him. Ra's al Ghul, classic Batman villain, but I'm gonna put in D because, and again, could show up, but very unlikely because, again, he usually has an established connection with Bruce, and that probably won't work too well because this Bruce probably isn't much well versed with the outside world, or outside of the U.S., and obviously hasn't learned like all different martial arts, so I'm not confident. Red Hood, at least Joker Red Hood. So I'm gonna put him in no because I'm slightly confused on if the person who made this list meant Joker Red Hood or just Jason Red Hood, which again was probably unlikely because as much as I'd want this universe to last a good while, it's not going to last that long enough to have a whole Robin to Red Hood arc. That takes a long time. Riddler, already in this universe. Good go. Do not know who the old man here is. Don't know if that's Amadeus Arkham or someone else. So let's put him in unsure. Also unsure because I don't know who that guy is. Solomon Grundy. D because he's basically a zombie, and I don't know if they're gonna do something like that. Like scientific experiments gone wrong. A little different from literal zombies, but oh well. If Matt Reeves wanted to do it, I'd be fine with it. That might actually be Talia. I think. I'll put her, if that is Talia, I'll put her next to her dad in D. Because, who knows? Alright, the Talon. So that might mean Talon or just the Court of Owls. And obviously the Court of Owls are a very, also well-wanted villain for the next Batman movie. So I'm going to put him and the Court of Owls in 50-50 because I'd be fine if they do show up, but I'm not like fully counting on it. But there is a very good chance that they might show up. Okay, next is, don't know who that is. We got another familiar one. Arnold Wesker and the puppet Scarface. I'm gonna put Scarface in good. Decent chance. Could show up in the Arkham show as old man who's got his wooden puppet in Arkham. Very possible. Finally, we got Victor Zsasz for the last villain I think could or could not be in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. I think he is an excellent option. Excellent contender. Again, another pretty realistic one if we're going with the whole realism thing. He is a very crazy guy who cuts himself to mark his latest kill. So I think that could work very well, especially for an Arkham show. So there you have it. This is my... let's clean it up a little bit based on who I think is most likely to... very most likely within these to show up. Alright, I think that's enough. So yeah, these are all the characters I think are either most or least likely to show up in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. Let me know what you thought of this list. Again, sorry for not making this a simple villain tier list, like what I thought about the actual villains, but oh well, thought this would be a little more unique. Again, let me know what you think. Do you think certain villains are more or least likely in a different way? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, that'd be really nice. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.